Beautiful. So this is going to be recorded, and this is the Mystery of Sex Transmutation webinar. And I would just like to begin by saying this, that you are in the right place if you are on the path to self-mastery and discovery and awakening to your higher self. And you're not in the right place if you are content with mediocrity and you don't have any interest in growing yourself. So to orient you to this Zoom interface of the webinar, just please look at the bottom of your screen, and there's going to be a menu, and looking from the left side into the right, there's a little chat bubble. And if you can go ahead and click that chat box, it'll open up the chat screen, and then you can see right above the message area, it says to all panelists, and then there's an option for all panelists and attendees. So I'm your panelist today, and the attendees are the other attendees here. So if you can go ahead and type in where you're tuning in from, just to get a feel of, they're like pinpoints of the web, of the circle that we're creating with each other. So I'm tuning in from Jacksonville, Florida. Here we go. I will start it off. And this is really going to be your opportunity to contribute and show up fully with this chat area. So I'm just inviting you to use this portal of communication during our 75 minutes together. And there is also, if you look on that bottom panel again, all the way to the right a little more, there's 2 chat bubbles, and that's your question and answer. And if you have a question that you want answered specifically, I may or may not get to it at the end of this transmission. So if you type it in that question and answer, I can make sure that I answer those questions for you. So welcome. And again, that chat box is to connect and feel each other as we're here in this space together. So let's just go ahead and dive in. My name is Amy Laura. I'm a mother to 1 beautiful daughter. My formal education is in kinesiology, which is the science of the body. I've studied somatic sex education and tantra, and I was a sex worker for 10 years. My life experience has supported my understanding of the limitless possibilities that lie within channeling the energy of sex towards creative expression. I've been able to experience the magic of channeling this energy firsthand, and it has been my mission to make this wisdom accessible to you, so you can reach a level of self-mastery faster and not get lost in the confusion that sex sometimes can present. So through studying successful people in history, the author Napoleon Hill discovered this well-kept secret too. What I like about Napoleon Hill is that he made this topic so down to earth and applicable to our creation of success. After my 10th time reading and teaching from the book, Think and Grow Rich, in my online course, it's clear to me that Napoleon Hill has discovered the divine feminine wisdom and is beckoning us towards its magic in this chapter. So if you don't know, I co-founded the Mastermind Life with 6 other individuals. We created a course around the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, the one I just showed you, to help you pave the way to wealth and success. The mystery of sex transmutation is actually the 10th step to riches. And my intention first is to provide you with value enough to improve your life and inspire you to action towards your dreams. And my second is to enroll you into my mastermind course so you can follow this proven model of success with the power of the mastermind behind you. The 13 principles of success are right here for you, and we are here to cheer you on as you take action towards your dreams. And I say we because we are an amazing group of mastermind leaders and cheerleaders. So the 10th step, the mystery of sex transmutation, is all about action. So to get us even more deeper into this, I just want to start with a quote from the book. The meaning of the word transmutation is, in simple language, the changing or transferring of one element or form of energy into another. The emotion of sex brings into being a state of mind. Sex transmutation means switching of the mind from thoughts of physical expression to thoughts of some other nature. And I'll end it right there and know that the chapter keeps going. But let's explore it more. Most of us were taught that sex is something that is done. It is an action. Two people get together to create babies. That's the original meaning of sex. It's procreation. So you might know that sex can be a wonderful thing for physical health as well. It can relieve stress and bring about vitality in the body. And what you might also know is that sex can help us bond emotionally and be a source of emotional health and wellness. What I want to share with you today is what you might not have learned yet, because no one teaches this in school. However, it is usually stumbled upon by accident. So you might be familiar. Sex is an energy and emotion that we can use to activate our inner genius. The path to self-mastery is about harnessing these energies that flow within us to really create the heaven on earth. The powerful energetic current that runs through your entire body is the desire for sex expression, and understanding that can have an outcome of your highest self showing up more often. So when we access this level of genius, our perspective shifts to that of being in an airplane. All the small details disappear and the larger picture is easily seen. This means that the daily struggles and problems, they just don't exist. Enthusiasm and creativity are natural byproducts of channeling sex energy. We can free ourselves from the burdens of daily life and allow that free flowing of information unhindered by worry, fear, and doubt. When we can connect with that energy, with the intention of self-mastery, we can open the channel to receive information from various sources that are going to come through as inspiration. We can gather that inspiration from the infinite intelligence. We can gather it from our subconscious mind. We can gather it from someone else's subconscious mind, or the mind of someone who has just released a thought or idea or picture through conscious thought. And I say this is the infinite intelligence link. This is the channel that we are opening to. So how does channeling sex energy really show up in our lives? It shows up as the art of seduction, because we can magnetize what we desire to us through this. We don't have to put forth strenuous effort to move towards success. The only effort that we really need to use is the willpower of our mind, which we're going to dive into a little more shortly. But I want to talk about how it shows up. It shows up as in that handshake. The touch of the hand will indicate instantly the presence of magnetism or the lack of it. You know. I remember learning how to handshake. 1, 2, 3. People taught me when I was working in the clubs. The other way we see it is the tone of voice. Magnetism is a factor that makes a voice musical and charming. Somebody with high sex energy is not going to be mundane and droning on and on. They're going to have enthusiasm, charisma. It also shows up as posture and carriage of the body. People with channeled sex energy are going to move briskly, and they're going to be with grace and ease. People with channeled sex energy are going to care about their appearance, body adornment. They're usually careful about selecting clothing that is becoming of their personality, their physique, and their complexion. Another trait of channeling sex energy is going to be high vibrations of thought, because those thoughts are mixed with the emotion of sex, and they can be used to influence those around them. So let me ask you this. Who do you admire that has this kind of magnetism? I would invite you to share in the comments who comes to mind when you think of this highly sexed magnetism attribute. So I want to feel the energy of their influence and of their power in this space. And I invite you to call them in to be with us, to lend us their wisdom. That is what this is. We are using our creative imagination to call in the wisdom. So share in the box and feel them. Yes, here we go. I'm going to contribute as well. Wonderful. So when the emotions of sex and love and romance are all combined, it has even more power to drive creative effort and achieving genius level of consciousness. So I invite you to seduce life with your arousal. We get to get used to feeling alive and juicy and horny, if you will, so we can focus on our goals at the same time and have the capacity to achieve what you desire. So when you feel that urge, that desire or longing to approach someone who inspires your arousal, this is an opportunity to take notice to your power, to take that action to step forward and meet them and recognize that this is your power that you can harness and channel towards anything that you desire, towards any of your creative expressions, towards making a family, towards starting a business, towards anything, a painting project. There's no need to ever stop the flow of desire for sexual intercourse. It must be, and it will continue to flow. It is a strong current in a river. We cannot put a dam in there. If there is a dam, it will overflow and it will move that dam to be expressed. So do reflect on whether your desire for sexual intercourse has become a destructive habit. And if it deters from your creative effort, because here we are moving in the direction of our expansion and of our achievement. So we must learn to delegate and, again, that word, harness the energy in all directions in our life so we can flourish and thrive. So I'd like to go into discussing the mindset to creating wealth consciousness and the mindset that it takes to transmute that sexual energy. Because how do we get there? How do we do that handshake that feels so confident? We get to develop the ability to harness that sex, love, romance energy, and it takes willpower. When our mindset is rigid, the body is also rigid in response. So we must learn to access a high vibrational state within the mind so that the body can be free to flow with the current of sexual energy that is always flowing through it. So here's a simple tool that I like to do to get my mind and body in alignment and vibrate at a higher level of frequency, especially if I'm stuck in a destructive state of emotions, such as resentment, sadness, anger, any kind of irritation, or other heavy and dense emotions. My go-to, and something that I did before this, is shake it out. And if you've been following me, you know this is one of my favorites. Literally shaking the body is so beautiful to get us out of our head and the ruminating denseness, because for me, it's giving the density to the earth through the feet. So just to begin, and I want to invite you to stand up right now. Stand up nice and tall. I'm not going to do it because my camera is stable. With your feet flat on the floor, grounded in the earth, and just begin to bounce your body. And I like to shake the wrists, shake the neck, let everything loose. Because if we can just bypass what's going on, we can be more free. I have some songs I would love to share with you, so I'll be sure to send those out in the replay. I do this for like 3 to 5 minutes, and then that is how I can step up my vibration of thought, so I can move into doing what it is that I want to do without being obstructed again by that worry, fear, and doubt. So we must encourage the presence of constructive emotions as the dominating thoughts in our minds, and discourage the presence of all those destructive emotions. The mind is a creature of habit, and it's going to thrive on those dominating thoughts that it's fed through the faculty of willpower. You may discourage the presence of any emotion and encourage the presence of any other. Controlling the mind through the power of the will is not difficult. It's going to come through that persistence and habit. The secret of control lies in understanding that process of transmutation. When any destructive emotion presents itself in one mind, it can be transmuted into a constructive emotion by simple procedure of changing one's thoughts. So I'm going to ask you, what destructive emotions are you ready to transmute so that you can achieve the success you desire? I invite you to share in the chat box. What are you ready to release and transmute into, I say into love, then you can transmute it into whatever you want. I understand what my desire is. I understand where I'm going in my life, so I say love. So what are you ready to transmute? Is it overwhelming sadness? Is it loneliness, anger, disgust, shame? What is it that has been lingering and distracting you from what really matters to you, from you living into your soul purpose and being in service? What's been getting in the way of you living your most juicy, juicy life? Now is the time to be witnessed in your power, to transmute, and be a sacred scribe to write what you are transmuting for your higher self to step forward. And just take a moment and be with yourself and write, what are you ready to transmute? Beautiful. Shame, guilt, the need of being liked all the time and people pleasing, also shame and guilt, fear of loneliness, failure. Yes. Beautiful. So using your willpower in this way, right now, use your willpower. This is one practice we're going to transmute. This is the most powerful. If we can do this on a daily basis, what are you transmuting this into? Share now with the power of your word. You've shared what you are done with, what is standing in the way of your success, what is standing in the way of your being in service and your higher self. What are you switching it to? This is one simple practice. Every day we can do this. By the power of your word and being witnessed, share what you are transmuting these dense energies, these dense emotions that are holding you down into. We must acknowledge them and move from them. It is when we are acknowledging them and being bogged down by them, shifting it to strength, to say and do what I truly feel called to do. Brian is shifting shame to strength. And I encourage you to say, I am transmuting. Listen to the power of transmutation. You are stepping into your ultimate powerful role as the creator of your realities. By the power of your word, you create your heaven on earth. And so it is. What are you transmuting? Personal transformation is going to be inevitable with this practice. If you take anything from this webinar, take this practice of changing your thoughts from destructive to constructive and make it a habit. And I encourage you to write it down as you do it, as you begin to process this practice. And if you recall, this 10th step towards success is all about action. Taking action to change your internal world is one step to increase your personal magnetism. Let's look at the big picture of the 13 principles of success for a minute. So the first step is going to be desire. All achievement, no matter what it is, its nature or purpose, it must begin with an intense desire, a burning desire for something definite. Now, faith. Faith is a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind. And I see a response here, and I want to pay it presence. Karina is transmuting the need of being liked all the time and people pleasing to love and awareness and to authenticity to be herself. And I see one from Joey, is transmuting fear of loneliness and failure into unconditional prosperity and trust. And feel all of these resonate. Thank you. Continuing, I'm talking about the 13 principles here because they all matter. They all matter in creating what we want to create. So that the third principle that we have is going to be the autosuggestion. It's self-suggestion. And that's going to reach and influence our subconscious mind. So we must communicate the object of our desire directly to the subconscious mind in the spirit of absolute faith. Through repetition of this procedure, you're going to voluntarily create thought habits which are favorable to efforts to transmute desire into its monetary equivalent. I hope you're following how this transmutation is actually bigger than the sex transmutation. We're actually building a muscle here so we can actually achieve our bigger goal. So the willpower of transmuting these thoughts and becoming a habitual practice every day is valuable in our big picture achievement. The fourth step to riches is going to be specialized knowledge. Knowledge will attract money, will not attract money unless it's organized and intelligently organized through practical plans of action to the definite end of accumulation of money. Knowledge is only potential power. The fifth step to riches is imagination. Imagination is literally the workshop of the mind where the impulse and the desire is given shape and plans are created, and our only limitation lies within the development of the imagination. This one is huge. What your mind can perceive is what you can achieve. Literally. So number 6, the sixth step to riches is organized planning. This is the crystallization of desire into action. After the desire has been sent to the imagination factory, it gets to be organized. The 7th step to riches is decision. We get to make the habit of reaching decisions promptly and changing decisions slowly if and when they are changed. That one's a big one. I'll share a little more about my own personal story after I'm done sharing with these because it's so juicy. It's so exciting. So persistence is going to be the 8th step to riches. And this is the power of the will. And this is placed back of the desire. Success is going to be achievable because you don't give up at the first sign of opposition or misfortune. The 9th step to riches is the power of the mastermind. Organized effort sufficient to enable an individual to transmute desire into its monetary equivalent. The organized effort is produced through the coordination of 2 or more people who work towards a definite end in a spirit of harmony. Whoa, I had never had this before 2 years ago. Absolutely amazing. And here we are, number 10, the mystery of S3x Transmutation. Because when harnessed and redirected along the lines of this motivating force, we maintain all the attributes of keenness of imagination, courage, willpower, persistence, and that creative ability. And I'm telling you, I've pulled this one topic out of these 13 success principles, and they all weave together beautifully. That's why I'm sharing them with you now. The 11th step to riches is the subconscious mind. It's a field of consciousness that classifies and records impulses of thoughts collected through our 5 senses. You may voluntarily plant in your subconscious mind any plan, thought, or purpose which you desire to translate into physical or monetary equivalent. First, it's going to act on those dominating desires which have been mixed with emotional feelings such as faith. The 12th step to riches is the brain, the broadcasting and receiving station for vibrations of thought. Ooh, I love it. And the 13th step to riches is going to be the 6th sense. And this is the way in which infinite intelligence may and will communicate voluntarily without any effort from you or demands from you. This is where the mastery of all other principles must be attained before accessing this portion of the subconscious mind, known as the creative imagination. Ooh. This is so amazing. I am just so jazzed by all of this because the people that are here, you all that are watching this, you all have been guided here for a reason. And I trust that because you're here and I have faith. So I invite you to be in action right now. Do not be in procrastination. Look at your peer group. Look at your environment. Do you have exactly what you need around you to support your success? So these are the 13 principles of success that my mastermind goes over every 10 weeks. I want to just remind you, we dissected 1. And we have 7 facilitators total. So we have all different styles that will present this material to you. So you have a few choices. Your first choice is to do nothing. Nothing will change. Your financial thermostat won't change. Your peer group won't change. You'll probably move forward in your life, and I'm sure you'll succeed, and I'm sure it'll be amazing. And you're not going to go any faster. Number 2, you can join our mastermind. You're going to have leadership, you'll have coaching, you'll have a peer group with people who want to aid you in your success. That is the number 1 vision and mission of our mastermind, is to aid our participants, aid you in your success, because we know that the secret to living is giving. And in your success, we're going to win no matter what. That's it. And the third option is to go start your own mastermind. Through reading this book, that was actually the the key to put it all together, to put all of the success that I've experienced together, it was joining a mastermind. It was starting a mastermind. So go start your own mastermind. Find people that will aid you in your success. The goal of a mastermind is to have those hand-selected people outside of your group, outside of your specific knowledge that can add value to you. So be a yes to yourself for the next 10 weeks. We actually start August 12th is when our next course begins. And the next 10 weeks are going to go by no matter what. So you can start the process of change, start the wheels of change, or do nothing and let the 10 weeks go by. And again, this has been absolutely pivotal in my own success, in my own declaration of what it is that I'm up to in my life. So for number one, I've actually had the confidence to vocalize my desires. I've actually had the confidence to speak my offerings into the world. Number two, I've actually been able to expand my mindset around prosperity and abundance. I've been able to open up to what it means to be rich. Not only money, everything. So in the third aspect that it's really affected me by, it's aided me in bringing my projects to life. My female empowerment book, my courses, my online courses, I've been able to access a part of me that has not had a ground to stand on. So, will you join my mastermind? I know some of you are already in my mastermind, and it's such a blessing to have you. So, there we are. The mystery of sex transmutation. Do you see how it can affect your life? Do you see the power that it can have to help you access your higher self? So with that, I will go ahead and invite you again to join my mastermind. We start August 12th, and we have Janine Lowith here. She is one of the co-founders of the Mastermind Life. We have Aladdin Kajaran, who's also one of the co-founders. We have Luis Feliz. We have Araceli Latino Feliz. We have Melissa Kehoe and Wilfred Marrero as our 7 core founders. We'll have maybe around 60 to 70 people in this round of the mastermind. We meet every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. A lot of us founders are over here on the East Coast, and we just meet in a Zoom room. It's a meeting. It's beautiful. We invite you to use your voice. We don't like you just to be listening in the background. We do require you to sign an NDA because we do talk about financials. We invite you to take up space as much as you need. We read 2 chapters a week of this book. We send you the book. We send you a gratitude journal. We send you other tidbits, and we offer you just accountability for the next 10 weeks. We give buddy rotations, so everybody is linked up with amazing entrepreneurs. We have some really big entrepreneurs in our team. It's really incredible to surround myself with people who are actually winning at life. Has been, it's been able to up-level my own personal thermostat. So thank you for joining. It's definitely taken a lot quicker than I thought it was going to take. So